You have already seen we have built this function, main function, which is like the entry point to many programs. You've also seen functions keyword start with fn. So now let's try to create a function outside our main, and then let's use it inside our main. So you start with fn, and then you call, let's, you can define any name. It's, if it's prefer space with underscores, call a function, and then here you can define a function body, and let's just do hi. Remember to terminate it with the semicolon. And to call this function, we'll just come here and let's just first remove all of this, and let's call our caller function. Because it's a function, you will need to put an exclamation, and it just runs. So let's put cargo run. You should see and hide. Perfect. And what if you wanted to pass some values? Then in that function, you actually need to define what are the arguments. So let's say this is var, and you have to also give its type. And then you can, if there are more than that, then you can just provide value to, and it can be of different type. So let's put character type over here, and let's use them. The first argument is, and we can just pass well, and second argument is value. Perfect. And when you are calling it, now you can pass the values. Let's do then comma here. Let's do cargiven. Oh, it's a characters. I see. I did a mistake over here. I passed a string, but my function was expecting a character, and it just tells us like. Although I tried to do a compilation directly, ideally I should do the cargo cargo check. Now it has not been compiled, so I would have caught the error. And then let's just make this character again, cargo check. Oh, so again it's still considering it as string because of the double quotes. For character it needs to be single quote. Now everything is fine, so now we can run. First argument is 10, second is h. Keep in mind that if you make a mistake, then anyways Rust is going to tell you. And is this the only way of doing functions? Like in Python, we remember there are lambda functions. Is there something like this? So there is something called statements and expression, which statements are like the instruction that performs some actions and does not return a value. And expression is something that evaluates to resultant value. So for example, you could do something like this in Rust, like x, and let's define again y uh, is equals to 6. So if I'm going to run this program, you are going to see that it's going to evaluate to an error. We can do cargo check. See, it says only supported directly in if condition or while expression. Great. So the let y is equals to 6 does not returns a value. Great thing. So there is nothing to bind to x. This is something which is different from C, uh, where the assignment can return a value. In those language, you could write something x is equals to y is equals to 6, and both will have the value of 6. In the case of Rust, it's not happening. So the expression evaluates to a value, make up most of the Rust code, and you will write in Rust. So consider the operations like 10 plus 20, which is an expression that will evaluate to 30. So expression can be a part of statement. So for example, y is equals to 6, let y is equals to is an expression. This gets evaluated to 6. Calling a function in an expression, that's what it's happening. So now let me show you with an example. So let's clean up everything over here, and let's make a y in a different scope. We can define x is equals to 3, and then x plus 1, it is going to return. So whenever, if you are not putting a semicolon over here in function as well, then that this is the line which is going to return. And so if let me show you, let me actually show you that this is the correct way of doing things. Forgot to add the semicolon here, because then it also tried to return something. So there are some warning, like we haven't used it. So let's do one thing. Print ln, and then just let's use this. That way, so since we are not using this function, Rust is suggesting us to suppress the warning, as this is a dead code. Now let's do cargo run. You can see it is giving us 4. This, so what happened? This code got evaluated to 4. That value get bound to y as part of let statement. And remember, if you if you have added semicolon to this expression, you turn it into the statement, and this will not return a value. And you are obviously, let me show you. Actually, it's not going to return this. See, y cannot be formatted because there's nothing. There's actually nothing. Nothing has been returned or from there. If I'll remove it, then you'll see the 4 is there. Now, sometimes it is required for a function to return something, and let's say there is a function return well, it takes nothing. So the syntax for returning something is this is, and then you define the type. This is how you define if a function is returning something. So let's say declares 4, and then you can just put x without semicolon, it's going to return the value. So let's come over here and let x is equals to return well, and let's put x. So we should see 4 getting printed over here.